Hi everyone, and welcome back to Revenge Recall, Reddit Stories. This post comes from the Relationship Advice subreddit, shared by user, deleted, and recovered by David DM23. I'm a 33-year-old guy, and I called off my wedding and broke up with my 31-year-old fiancée because of her parents. Hey everyone, I'm not even sure where to start, it's been a wild ride. I was with my fiancé for 4 years. For the past 2 years, we'd been living together in a house we bought jointly. Our wedding was supposed to be in 3 months, but everything fell apart after a big issue with her parents. It started when she went with her mom to check out her wedding dress. While they were driving, her mom kept asking about our wedding expenses, things like the makeup artist, dress, photographer, venue, and our total budget. My fiancé told her everything, and her mom freaked out when she heard we were spending around $22,000. Just to be clear, we didn't ask her parents for any money, and they didn't offer to give us anything either. That night, her mom talked to her dad about it, and they decided they wanted to talk to me. My fiancé called and asked if I could come over. I wasn't happy about it, felt like they were interfering, but I respected them, so I agreed to go. When I got there, straight from work, they jumped right in. They said we were spending too much money, especially on the photographer, and said we should only invite family. Then her dad brought up that my fiancé was paying 60% of the wedding and that it should be 50-50. I was furious inside, but I kept calm and listened. Then I spoke up. I said something like, I understand you're worried about your daughter and our finances, but this is something she and I planned together. We've discussed it and agreed on everything. We didn't ask for any money from you. We just want you to be there and enjoy the wedding. I added, this is our wedding. If she wants to change something, that's something we'll talk about. As a couple, we're happy to hear your thoughts, but in the end, this is our choice, not yours. Then I explained, she's paying more because I'm covering the mortgage and house maintenance. I can't afford to pay more toward the wedding right now. She takes care of groceries and bills, so she's been able to save more. Finally, I said, we already live together. Everything we get from the wedding, cash or gifts, will be shared, so it doesn't matter who pays more. We agreed on that together. But now you're trying to control our decisions and money, and that's not okay. It feels like you're acting like this is your wedding, not ours. And just so you know, I said all of this calmly and respectfully. Then her parents started getting really angry and started insulting my family, especially the fact that I help support my 86-year-old dad. They said we were being irresponsible with our money. I let them finish talking, then told them they had no right to bring my family into this. That wasn't okay, especially since neither of our families was being asked to pay for anything. My fiancé and I have been living in our own house for 2 years now, handling everything on our own. I felt like her parents were being way too controlling when it came to her money, and honestly, they seemed to be losing it over the whole thing. The worst part? My fiancé just sat there and stayed quiet. That really hurt me. I thought she would speak up for us, or at least for me, because her parents were way out of line. Also, her parents didn't want her to have a joint bank account with me. They said she should keep her money separate, which I agreed with in general, but the joint account was only going to be for shared home expenses. At that point, I stopped trying to argue and said, if you're not happy with the budget, then she and I can look at it again. If she wants changes, we'll talk about it together. But her parents wouldn't stop. They kept demanding things. It wasn't advice anymore, it was stuff like, I want fewer people invited, or you should be paying more. We went home and reviewed the budget again. She made a few changes, and we agreed on it. Then she looked at me and said, you do know what my parents were trying to say, right? I said, no, not really, and honestly, it's not their place to get involved. We're adults and should make our own choices. I told her that from now on, if we have any big issues or money discussions, we should talk about them between ourselves, and not bring her parents into it. She looked at me with this annoyed face and said, I don't care what you want, I'll talk to my parents about anything I want. I responded, but we're starting our own family now, we should be the ones making decisions, just the two of us. She didn't agree. That's when I lost my patience. I told her, if this is how things are going to be, then I can't build a future with you. I can't be in a marriage where your parents control everything. I wasn't saying she couldn't talk to them at all, but some things should stay private between a couple, and if she did want to talk to them, they should give their thoughts to her, then we could talk it over together at home. But them jumping in like it's their business? That didn't feel right to me. So the next day, I called off the wedding. 2 days later, I ended the relationship. Of course, she cried and begged me to change my mind, but I couldn't. I couldn't live a life where her parents were always interfering. I'm really sad about how it all ended. I really tried to build a future with her, but this wasn't going to work. I know I'm a good person. I was raised well. I don't have any addictions. I know what it means to be a good partner and how to build a family. But I felt alone, like I was the only one fighting for us. Thanks for reading. I'm just here looking for some support. Any thoughts are welcome. First off, huge respect to you for standing your ground. If your backbone isn't made of steel, it must be made of something even stronger. I completely agree with everything you said, how you view relationships, how you expect a partnership to work, and I totally support your choice to end the engagement and walk away. Not that my support changes anything, but I'm 100% on your side. Her parents were totally out of line, and the fact that she was okay with it, and still wanted to share personal and financial stuff with them? That's a major red flag. Like you said, it's fine to talk to your parents sometimes, but certain things, especially about money and private decisions, should stay between the couple. That's how you build trust. That's how you set healthy boundaries. So, what do you all think? Would you have done what OP did? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Community comments. Greek Dudiana says, she didn't stand up for you, even though you both planned the wedding budget together. I don't even understand what her parents were trying to say. You may not have paid exactly half for the wedding, but you were handling the mortgage. That's a huge deal. Plus, you're helping your own family, and not asking either side for money. Her parents had no right to be angry, and she should have supported you. If she was already picking fights over the wedding, it was probably never going to work. You made the right call. Miss Me Pudding says, maybe she had doubts about the wedding and talked to her parents, who then stepped in. If that's true, it means she couldn't communicate with you directly and used them to do it for her. Or maybe her parents are just super nosy. Either way, you dodged a big mess. Good for you for knowing your limits and sticking to them. 875 milliliters says, something very similar happened to me last year with my ex. We were together and living together for 7 years. Then I met his parents for the first time. They live in another country. After we met and spent a month together, my ex's parents started getting too involved in our lives. They kept telling us what to do, expecting us to follow their advice, and constantly judged me. I didn't get along with them at all, and I told my ex the same thing you told your girlfriend. There are some things that should only be discussed between us. Her parents shouldn't control us. But my ex said, they're my parents, they raised me, spent money on me, and I need to take care of them and make them happy, and as my girlfriend, I want you to show them your best side, so they'll like you instead of hate you. I want all of us to live together happily. That's when I decided to end our 7-year relationship. He didn't stand up for me when his parents judged me for no reason. That made me really sad and disappointed. He chose his parents over me. Additional information from OP's comments. We talked about our finances and agreed on everything, but when her parents spoke to us, she didn't say anything. This made her parents think the wedding was all my idea and that I was pushing for an expensive wedding, which wasn't true. Anyway, the wedding was supposed to make her happy, and I wanted it to be within our budget, but it seemed like she needed her parents' approval. I didn't tell her not to talk to them, but there are certain things you don't share with your parents, and they shouldn't get involved in everything. It was really important to me that she had my back, since we both planned everything together, but it felt like her parents didn't want her to grow up and make her own decisions. Since she didn't speak up for me, I felt like she wasn't willing to defend our choices. What happens later if we have kids, and her parents want to control everything? This situation made me feel like she picked her parents over me, even though we both agreed on the wedding. After the breakup, we talked multiple times this week about what happened. She thinks it wasn't a big enough issue to end our relationship and believes I was rude to her parents. I was shocked. I didn't say much, just listened to her. I don't think I can give her a second chance. She's old enough to know that I need her support, and without it, I can't move forward with anything. Update 1. Hi everyone, I took some time off. I read all your comments and spent the next few days thinking about what you said. Thank you for the advice. During our break, my ex and I didn't talk for almost 2 weeks. Then she called and wanted to meet. I agreed. She started by apologizing for how inconsiderate she was about the situation. She didn't understand why I took her parents' involvement so seriously, because it's normal for her, but after thinking about it, She realized I was just trying to set boundaries and that her parents had crossed the line. No one had ever done that before. We talked about our relationship and she cried, saying she still wanted us to be together and was willing to work things out. I listened and explained that I wasn't trying to be rude to her parents. I wanted to know how she would handle things if her parents tried to get involved again. She said that if they do, she'll listen to them but talk to me about it afterward. She promised not to put me in the same situation again. She agrees that we should make our own decisions. She can still talk to her parents, but the final decision will be ours. There are things that should stay private, and she now understands that. I thought about it, and I realized I still love her. We both spent time reflecting, and I felt we had grown stronger, especially her. The fact that she came to me showed she was serious about making things right. After our talk, I suggested we sleep on it and meet up for lunch the next day. At lunch, I told her I didn't want to be with anyone else, and she said the same. So, we're going to give our relationship another try, with clear boundaries for her parents. This has been the longest 2 months of my life. I'm glad things worked out, but I wouldn't want to go through this again. It was tough, but at the same time, I feel like we're stronger as a couple now, and anything is possible. It's been just over a month since we decided to give our relationship another try, but I'm sorry to say, things haven't improved. In fact, they got worse. The first few days seemed fine. I thought we were doing okay, but then, she started saying I should apologize to her parents and make them happy so we could move on. I told her I hadn't done anything wrong, and I thought we had already agreed on our boundaries as a couple. That's when things went downhill, because I didn't want to apologize for something I didn't feel was my fault. She gave me the cold shoulder, and we stopped communicating well. I was already stressed out with work, and all the drama with her parents, and a little bit with her, was really affecting my health. So, we decided it was better to break up. Honestly, I don't understand why she pushed for us to try again if her plan was to force me to apologize to her parents. I don't see how she thought that would fix everything. Thankfully, I had been going to the gym, or I might have lost my mind. Thanks to everyone on Reddit for the support. Now, I can start a new chapter in my life without worrying about the what-ifs. Commentary. Wow, OP, that must have been really draining. It's crazy how she agreed with everything you said just to get back together, then tried to force you to apologize. That's just weird. Like, no way I'd apologize after that. Good for you for standing your ground. Now you don't have to worry about any what-ifs. Thanks for sharing your story, and best of luck with everything in the future. And that's the end of the video. I hope you liked these stories. I really enjoyed reading them to you. If you did, go ahead and like the video, subscribe, or even share it with others who might enjoy it. Also, if you have time, check out the links in the description, from our Discord community to channel merch. And finally, thank you for watching. It means a lot to me. I'll see you in the next video.